Okay, hello, welcome to the stream. My name's Milo and I use they, them pronouns. Yeah, we're back on dolphins, which has been a while actually. So it's good to get back to this theme that I enjoy a lot. Haven't been around the Echo community or games for a while, so yeah, this will be nice. It's all because last week I played some games involving Selkies that I found on itch. Just randomly. And that prompted me to follow up on this game, Laser Dolphin, because I covered it a long time ago in one of my multi-game dolphin streams. But I only played the demo. Now I have the full version. And of course, I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, I did buy the full version. Apparently what I bought was the iPhone version, and this is one of those games that was released at a time. This is a 2005 game, and the style at the time was to release separate versions of the game for iPhone and iPad. So I can't even like capture the large iPad version. So I just bought it again, and that's fine. When you go to buy it, you can either get Windows or Mac. It detects them on Windows and redirects automatically. Yeah, Laser Dolphin. Hi Jam, how's it going? Yeah. And so it's like $11 for me, so it's pretty cheap. It's not on Steam, but most of the other games from Dingo are. Let's just show you what some of those are. So Dingo... many of their games are in this series, Tasty Planet, Tasty Blue, where you're a small thing that eats things and gets larger. Sound familiar? A little Katamari-like. So they're all quite good. I've also played Clumsy Cat, which is where you're a cat knocking over things in a house, also a good theme. That one's only on smartphones as well. But they've also got these 3 older games that aren't on Steam, and the only way you can get them is through their website, but you can still get them and they do still work. Laser Dolphin, of course, you can still get on the iOS App Store, and it still works, or you can get it on Windows or Mac. Jack of all trades is like a space strategy sim kind of game, and this is a big passion of the developers. This is Dingo Games. They're a husband and wife team. Who met at a fencing club, so they're big fans of fencing, and Three Musketeers is all about fencing, of course. So this is an RPG that goes through the story of the Three Musketeers, as told in Alexander Dumas' book, of course. So that's cool. But what we're doing today is Laser Dolphin, of course. In this game, we play through action stages as the titular Laser Dolphin on our quest to rescue the Prime Minister, who's been captured by aliens. Now, this will all be explained in the game itself, so I don't think there's much else I need to say but to get into it. And I've also got the instructions here, which is pretty comprehensive. If we ever need to look something up, I can go back and refer to that. So, here's the game. I don't want to run it in full screen because that stretches it. It's a 4:3 game, it's quite old. Let's just see the boot up sequence. This is the header image on my background here. There we go. Simple enough. So this is a keyboard and mouse controlled game because we're going to be aiming our laser cannon with the mouse and moving the dolphin with the WASD or whatever. It's also got a level editor, which is fun. We can plonk down anything. Oh, I guess it doesn't display it. How do we save? My cool level. Now, how do I play this? Custom. My cool level. Oh yeah, the Robo Sharks are coming to get me. Ah! So, you know, if you got some creativity and you can put together... Whoops, I quit the game. My mistake. You can put together custom levels and it could be fun. Oh, did I skip the sequence? Hold on. I'm not sure if that's what a dingo sounds like, but I've seen them in zoos, not in the wild. But I can't say I've heard them much auto aim. Yeah, I'll leave it on. Ooh, let's bump it up to medium. We can always come back here and change that if we need to. Okay, well, I think we should jump in. Now, there's 3 different modes. Action is the normal story mode. Oh, it does say here when you hover over it. Main mode of play, blast away your enemies. Stunt, perform tricks to earn points. Race through hoops to beat the clock. So we can check out the other modes later. But we'll start with story mode. As you can see, we're going via various planets through space. Okay, so when you select a level, it'll show you the plot sequence. The Prime Minister prepares to address the nation, and presumably this is the Prime Minister of Canada, since the development team is Canadian. I don't know who that was in 2005, I should have looked that up maybe. Anyway, suddenly, an alien abduction. Eek! The aliens leave Earth. When the Prime Minister gets abducted by aliens, who can you call? So very Echo style setup. Aliens are abducting people and a dolphin is involved. Well, we don't know that yet, but here we go. It calls it a comic. This is a comic. That's great. Why, it's Laser Dolphin, of course. We need you to rescue the Prime Minister. He's probably light years away by now, so you will need a spaceship. Back in the 80s, a UFO crashed into the ocean. We were never able to recover it. Search for this UFO. It is our best hope of saving the Prime Minister. But be careful, Laser Dolphin, and set your laser to kill. Okay. So we can freely direct the movement of Laser Dolphin by holding space to go towards the cursor, or we can use WASD. So that's a pretty adaptable control scheme, which is nice. I think Aquaria worked a little bit like that too, but I haven't played that in a while. But yeah, we've got a nice little sort of CG pre-rendered type of dolphin. The high-tech dolphin has a very antiquated red dial telephone. That is true. He probably had it installed a long time ago. Maybe he's never been called into action. And I do know the dolphin is a he, by the way, in terms of pronouns. I don't like to assume that, especially with animal characters. But the game website does make it clear. I'll show you. Where was it? In the instructions, maybe? Nope, getting started. It was somewhere. Oh man, your dolphin implodes? That sounds horrible. Okay. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to show you. When you download it, you get a bunch of files, including a link to the instructions. You also get a text file called credits. So we'll show that off in case the game itself doesn't show it. Oh boy, capture. Notepad. Can I make this bigger or something? Game programming and art by James Sayer. Thanks to Michiel PMI Cameraman's for the great music. Thanks to Chris for letting me use the Mac. And thanks to Tavis for testing. Don't know if there's typos there, but whatever. Yeah, so I guess it was James that did everything in this, and his wife, Kristen, was it? Didn't directly, I guess, work on it, per se. Yeah, Kristen. Okay. Alright, back to it. Game. Capture. Let's go. Resume. Okay. So here we are in level 2. I better pick up the pace. I prefer using WAS to keep the firing cursor independent. Now I don't think we need to worry about air meters or anything like that in this game, which is nice. And I will probably not bother going for 100% completion, which means collecting all the gold dolphins that are scattered around the level. hidden collectibles. So we only got 2 that time. Oh yes, you can charge the laser, of course, with a very annoying high-pitched sound. But when it's charged, it does more damage. You can see the charge bar on the left under my health fills up. Otherwise it takes a few shots to kill these turrets, but we could just swim past them as well. We can even damage boost because we got a ton of health. Oh, I just got some back too. I think the gold dolphins restore the health, which is nice. Then I'll just collectibles. I love the look of this game. It feels like a bit of a throwback for 2005. Sort of late DOS era kind of thing. Oh, it's a turtle with dynamite strapped to it. Classic. So, are these turtles in league with the aliens, or are they unwitting pawns in this scheme? They do seem to aggressively home in on me, so I'm going to assume they're traitors to the ocean. Ow! Actually, thinking about that telephone that Laser Dolphin picked up, was it an underwater telephone? Maybe that's why it's an older style, because yeah. It's a problem with window mode, you click out of the window sometimes. Cool. So yeah, that's my theory. It looks like that because it has to be waterproof. And it's harder to waterproof more modern things, you know. That's definitely true. Ooh, an invincible mine. Yeah, we can't touch those ones. They're the red zingers of this game. I've been very immersed in Donkey Kong stuff lately, so that's going to be some upcoming streams. I've been preparing them. I've got a whole big selection of fan games to try out. Meanwhile, I've been playing Windswept. The full version is now released. That's another game that I covered the demo of. Covering the whole thing on streams I think is not feasible because it's so long. But I do highly recommend Windswept, it's really cool. A bit of Donkey Kong Country 2 or 3 even meets Celeste, I would describe it as. And I say 3 because the characters are sort of more unequal in their abilities, just like in 3. I guess 2 also had the Diddy Dixie dynamic, but I feel like Dixie Kitty is even more different, especially with the team throws. They have very different team throw abilities, the tortoise and the duck, who I believe are called checkers and marbles, which I only just now realized is a sort of pun on, like, traditional children's toys, I guess. Oop. Ugh. Stupid windowed mode. Maybe I could have... Like, it auto-stretched when I put it in widescreen. I wonder if there's any way to adjust the aspect ratio. I guess I could change the aspect ratio of my screen, of my monitor? Would that work? I don't know. Then I don't know if capturing would get screwed up. I'd rather not mess with it willy-nilly. So this is a seagull with some kind of bomb dropping mechanism. Seagulls, terrible. Ooh, we got the homing rockets. Sick. How long does it last? Quite a while. Our yellow bar there is quite full. Going down on its own, so I might as well keep rapid firing. Yeah, seagulls are kind of a menace when you live on the coast, because they like to steal your chips when you're having fish and chips. But they're by no means the worst of the birds. That would be magpies. As a cyclist, I have to say that magpies are worse, because they will sweep you in the mating season. And it's a real pain. By the way, if you look up magpie in Wikipedia, you might not get the right one. It, for some reason, describes our magpies as, what are they? Something shrike? And there's also other kinds of magpies from other parts of the world. And there's peewees, which are called magpie larks, but they're not related. They just have similar coloration. I guess this is what happens when old white people name animals. They just do whatever. By that I mean, like, you know, the colonizers and such. Whoops. I keep accidentally clicking onto the text file that's open just behind this with the credits, and then entering, like, inputs like DDD because I'm holding D to move. So now, we have to thank DDD for contributing to this game. No, not that one. Not King DDD. He's never contributed a thing in his life. I guess he saved the world that one time or whatever. This is real fast-paced, I like it. Like, not just the action, but the progress through levels. Very different vibes to Echo, of course. But you gotta compare every Dolphin game to Echo, it's only natural. But yeah, I'm glad I'll be able to show off the whole game this time. Assuming I get through it, but considering how quick it is, I think we can do it. This, even the pace and the structure of the levels is a little bit DOS-like to me. You know, it's a bit of a retro throwback kind of thing, which is nice. But, well, even at this point, the game itself is 20 years old, which is horrifying to think about, but yeah. Soon to be 21, depending on which month it was released in. Slip past that turtle, and we even got 4 out of 5 gold dolphins in that level without even trying. Okay, is that the first required jump? It's like the Atlantis level in Echo. Whee! Angle yourself to get a better... Whee! Dropping angle. Oh, can't make it over that one. Okay, this is going to be troublesome. I wonder if I could have mapped Joy to key somehow with, like... You can put mouse cursor movement onto a thumbstick, right? I think you'd still have the same problems of clicking outside the window, and you just have less response time, so I don't think it'd be worth it. But it might save my wrist in the long term. I think I'm holding up okay so far, but I do have problems with long-term keyboard and mouse use sometimes. Cool. But I've got my brace if it comes to that. That'll help a bit. So yeah, this was all, of course, done at the request of some commenter on my YouTube. I'll look up who it was, actually. Just for a little bit of a break here from the action. Enjoy the background music. Where do you see the dashboard? Oh yeah, I did get a comment recently from somebody who worked on Bonk Brink of Extinction. At Wolfen231, Houston, Texas, I worked on this, which is awesome. The game that was cancelled, but a lot of people's hard work went into it. Yeah, the Rockman Zero fan games are deleted. Where was it? Yeah, Doodle Dew 155. I can show you now. I didn't want to show my studio, but here's the... Are you ever going to play the full version of Laser Dolphin? Keep in mind, this was 4 months ago, so I'm just getting back to it. I do own it, so I could. This is when I was thinking, oh yeah, I bought it, but I forgot that I bought the iPhone version, not the PC version. So now I've just bought it again, and that's cool. And they say, I'd love to see that. So Doodledoo155, this is for you. This is going out to all my Doodledoos out there. Hope you enjoy. Okay, let's get back to it. Hey Captain, how's it going? We're playing Laser Dolphin. We've just got to sort of phase 2 where the sun is setting in the background. This is a nice little arcadey action game where we're playing as the eponymous Laser Dolphin, trying to rescue the Prime Minister who's been kidnapped by aliens, presumably the Prime Minister of Canada, since the development team is Canadian. 4 times? 4 times what? Damage? Yeah, damage, I guess. With my blaster. So yeah, Austin Powers style, where a dolphin with a laser beam strapped to our head. Not a shark. I like those situations where you lure an enemy into a mine to get rid of it. Those kinds of interactions are a lot of fun. Kinda working is only kinda here. Very appropriate. Oh boy, I'm almost dead. Let's try and rush through. Yeah. Also, I'm frequently clicking off the screen because I'm playing on a little window, which is an issue. It's just something I gotta deal with. Okay, whoop, whoop. Yeah, I don't think the spacebar system is really... Well, it's okay, but I much prefer having the independent control of the laser and the dolphin, the 2 elements of the title. It's really a buddy duo if you think about it. Ow. I believe, from what I remember of playing through the phone version, it was more like... actually, no, I think you tapped on the screen to shoot and you had a virtual thumbstick, so that was still independent control. Oh boy, that was close. Let's grab that dolphin for a bit of a refill. Lovely stuff. Sneak past that mine. Another refill. Strategic use of the refills. After some fast damage boosting to get through places. Feels good. Okay, we're real close now. Got these moving laser drones. Cool, cool, cool. I'm not sure how far we are. Let's go back to the level select. Okay, we're about 2/3 of the way through the Earth levels. And at which point we'll presumably... Oh, they all have names too, that's fun. Aqua lasers. Look at the cute turtles. Mine avoidance. Missile fish. I'll have a look at those when we've unlocked them all, because it doesn't show you the names of the ones that you haven't gotten to yet. That was a cool little setup with the 4-way tunnels there. Wow, that thing was so far off screen I had no hope of hitting. Aha! My favourite. One where we spray and pray and I don't have to worry about aiming this much. This ain't going well. Let's slow down and try and find a refill. Oh, never mind. We're at the end of the level. Easy peasy. This time I'm going to go the opposite way from the arrow. And that's how you get collectibles. Oh yeah, I love skimming the surface. It's a lot of fun. Hope there's some, like, properly alien organisms later. So far we've got a lot of robotic drone stuff and weapons strapped to terrestrial animals. Part of the really cool thing about Echo, apart from the time travel and seeing creatures of Earth's past, was getting to contend with aliens, their cool designs that were just ripped off HR Giga, of course, but everybody does that, so it's fine, I guess. Ooh, the coral reef. My parents were recently, ooh, my first death. They were recently on holiday in Lord Howe Island, which is off the coast of New South Wales. But it's just at the right latitude, but it's got a nice coral reef outside it. It's like pretty sparsely populated, this place. Oops. Okay, we've got a rapid fire machine gun now. An adaptation for my laser gun. Still needs to be aimed, of course. And yeah, like, Mum went snorkeling at the coral reef and like saw turtles and stuff. And it was pretty amazing, but she didn't take any photos. Like, come on. Where's your waterproof camera when you need it? I think that kind of thing is still pretty rare. You can get like cases for cameras that make them waterproof. But yeah, I don't blame her. I just want to see a turtle too, you know? Sounded awesome. Echo got an upgrade? Yeah. Funnily enough, the laser harness reminds me a lot of some tech that Echo gets access to in the Dreamcast PS2 game Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future. When you go to the... it's Man's Nightmare, the alternate timeline where humans and dolphins did not get along and had a war, and the dolphins were enslaved by the humans and forced to work. They worked via the capacity of this technology called a labor harness, which was strapped to the dolphin and then could interact with the technology that humans had installed underwater. And so Echo gets a hold of one of these things. And that's how you solve puzzles later in that chapter. But it's like this gold thing that straps around. Oh boy. Okay, gotta be super careful. It's Planet of the Apes, but dolphins. It really is, actually. Oh boy. No! That fish snuck up on me. So rude. Okay, let's go a different way this time. Yeah, like the premise of the game is that there's this sort of cosmic force that's composed of different attributes, and when certain attributes are removed, that affects the sensibilities of the intelligent creatures of the Earth, including humans and dolphins. I forget, you know, which particular ones lead to these outcomes, but you go through multiple evil futures. One of them is this one. It's very dingy. It kind of gets... I played... so this is Appaloosa, which is the successor studio to Nova Trade, who made the original Echo games, of course. I say successor. I think they just changed the name anyway. After making Echo, they were Defender of the Future. They were working on a follow-up called Sentinels of the Universe, which never got finished, but there's prototype data for it out there. But what they did do afterwards was make a Jaws game, which was like sort of tying into the original movie, I think. Oh, we're out of ammo, so let's just start rushing. But you play as the shark, which is always the best way to do a Jaws game. Okay, well that was obviously the end of the level right there. And yeah, in a lot of missions in that, you're like infiltrating some kind of industrial thing and blowing it up as the shark. It's a very environmentalist themed kind of thing. And it really reminded me of the Man's Nightmare levels, which are very grungy and industrial. But maybe a more memorable section of that game is the Dolphin's Nightmare, which is the one that comes after, which is where a similar war happened between humans and dolphins, but the dolphins won because they were more ruthless and aggressive or whatever. And so humanity's extinct in this future, and the dolphins have their own kind of organic technology that looks really cool in sci-fi. And they've mutated themselves, and there's this caste system, and they're ruled over by this clan of dolphin oligarchs. And they've all genetically engineered themselves to breathe underwater, so which is nice. Although, oh boy. Still just hearing Planet of the Apes. Yeah. Oh, like different stages of that universe. Oh boy. Okay. Can we get an angle on that turret? Completely changed playstyle now. At least slowly making my way. There we go. So I'm gonna slip past this. Very good. Sorry, just keep clicking off. Anyway, the whole point of that was that the labor harness looks kind of like this harness. Which makes me wonder... Oh, gosh. Ooh. Like the little electricity effect. Got electric eels. I did provoke the eel, to be fair, so... I shouldn't be surprised that it chased me. But yeah, I've been hearing, you know, in the last few years, news stories about nations using trained dolphins in military applications, which is pretty gross, but I wonder how they strap equipment to those dolphins if it looks like this too. Get the dolphins' consent first, you know, pay them. Some countries have recognized cetaceans as non-human persons due to their high level of intelligence, which grants them protections and rights for conservation purposes. I think we gotta go a little more slow paced through this level too. It's getting to that point, isn't it? Well, I wonder if I can actually kill these. Maybe not. Well, we'll lure it this way. Oh, a charge shot did it. So maybe they have a lot of health, or maybe you have to use charge shots. Oh man. I thought I could start rushing it. Oh, it worked out okay. Wonder if the eel's still after me. Oh crap. I'm alive! Oh no, I went the wrong way, I guess. Oh boy. Gotta go all the way back now. That was just for a collectible. Well, now we know not to go that way. And who knows where the exit is? It could be any side of the screen. That gold dolphin saved my life. Okay, we'll not provoke the eels this time, if we can avoid it. Ow. I was listening to a podcast recently about, I believe it was Escape from the Planet of the Apes, and I don't think I've seen any of the Planet of the Apes movies, except maybe the the reboot, the first reboot one. Was it Tim Burton in like 2001? Oops. Okay, let's just grab the dolphin, get the heck out. Lost a fair bit of health, oh well. But yeah, it's interesting hearing about them because, especially Escape is the one they made after they blew up the entire planet, thus closing the book on the series, or so they thought. But then the producers were like, hey, we like money, go write another movie that takes place after that. And they had to go, okay. Here's one that will be cheap to shoot because it's set in the 70s on Earth. Of course, I have read some Planet of the Apes comics because it's crossed over with both Star Trek and King Kong. The King Kong one was much more interesting, I think. Oof. But part of that is because original series Star Trek, sometimes you get like boomers writing those things, and it's not that great. I don't know. It's so old that like a lot of different people are into it, so you get a lot of different types of stories, which is really good in that way. Nuts. Okay, obviously the key is avoid the eels. In fact, the level's probably called avoid the eels. Oops. Turns out I didn't avoid the eels. Alright, well now that I've angered an eel, maybe I'll try and destroy it. Oh boy. Well, that didn't work out well. I think we've looped through the whole Planet of the Apes timeline about 3 times now. Yeah, because they did the time loop and they went back and started the Planet of the Apes, and then they probably did that again. There was also a TV show, and then they did a reboot, and then they did another reboot that looped around. That's now back in the original time frame of the first movie again, Castle Kingdom. Okay, this one's directly in the way, so we're gonna snipe it out. Oops. Oh, it's so tough. It takes multiple charge shots. Crap. Alright, we got it. But in my retreat, I ended up dying again. Okay, are we gonna need to do a genocide run at this level, maybe? Let's try that this time. Wow, that's a lot of dang health. Okay. I think we can ignore the two in the alcove. Oh god. Yeah, as long as they don't chase me, I'm good. And that one's probably fine. So that kind of gave me an impression of what auto aim does. It's a little bit of aim assist, really. As long as you're facing in generally the right direction with your cursor, it will aim more specifically at the enemy closest to that. So that's nice. I would not want to play this game without that feature. So I'm glad it's there. Okay. Well, this is going well. We're back at full health. Well, I spoke too soon. And now when I retreat, there'll be no turrets to catch me out. Yes. It's all going according to plan. Yeah, so Echo Defender of the Future is really good. It's got probably my favorite plot of the series just because it goes in so many directions. Although actually, Tides of Time is really good in that respect as well. I don't know. They're all great. But I love the world building of the different timelines in Defender of the Future. Especially. It's just very different to play, obviously, since it's 3D. Very different vibes. Oh, thank God. We made it. Oh, that was a long time on that level. What was that one called? Do not disturb the eel. I knew it. That's pretty much exactly what I said. Alright, this one's called Cunning. This wall's suspiciously thin. Aha! Secret gold dolphin. Oops. Okay, that was me clicking on the top bar and moving the window instead of interacting with the game. Okay, cool. So down or left? I'm gonna guess there's a collectible down here. Ooh! A weapon upgrade. I'll take that. Oh boy. I've disturbed the eel. This was a mistake. But the rockets do a good job. There we go. Blasting through these eels. So I feel like I probably need to clear these out to move through here. And that's what the rocket's for. Yeah, it makes quick work of them. Oopsie. Right, we're in good standing here. Gibbon has been thinking recently on what modern 3D entries of various Mega Drive or Genesis, as she says, the Sega franchises would look like. We've had 3D Echo and Toe Gem and all and whatnot, but those were like 25 years ago at this point. True. Game design has evolved since then. Yeah. Yeah, that is curious. We did get the what's probably the closest thing to a modern Echo in recent years. We had Maneater, the shark game, which was so much Echo inspired, that the shark had echolocation. It had a sonar, which is not something that sharks have ever had. But they put it in this game as a game design thing. And also because, like, it's a mute shark or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that was like more open exploration kind of stuff. You do objectives at your own pace kind of thing. So I feel like if there was a new Echo, it might be something like that. But yeah. Gibbon owns Maneater. It's very fun, but also very violent. Yeah, very true. It goes for the kind of shock value of shark mauling people and blood going everywhere kind of thing. Which is, yeah, like, I guess they're doing that whole Shark Week thing. There's a framing of it being a documentary about the shark. But yeah, it is a bit much at times. Oops. Oh, okay, this is just an avoid 'em up. We can't destroy any of these obstacles. I guess we could kill the seagulls. Oh god, oh god. Missed a pickup back there. Whee! I can't believe that worked. For a second. What's this one called? Follow the leader. Is that seagull the leader? Okay. Skimming the surface might be the strat. Hold on. Okay. Okay, it doesn't... It makes it easy for the rockets to hit you. Fired by the fish. Yeah, that didn't work. It could work up to a point, though. Can get through the first section. Then we start taking care of some fish. Oh god. More eels. Wow. Okay. Tried to pick up that health, but wasn't quick enough. I wonder... Once we're past the fish, they might de-aggro eventually. I'm not sure if they will. But if we see the rockets coming in, I can start dodging. Ah, where'd the rockets go? I guess I made it, somehow. Uh-oh. Crap. That was such a good run, too. And we have had a modern Toe Jam and L. Oh, what was it called? The Kickstarter one. But that was pretty much just a remake of the original game. So it didn't modernize that much. Back in the groove, yeah, that was it. And it wasn't 3D, that's true. We're talking about 3D stuff. But the 3D entry for Toe Jam and L, Toe Jam and L 3, which I have played on Xbox, is also kind of just doing the first game again, but in 3D, more or less. They never call back to the second game, which was a 2D platformer, do they? Okay. What? Go! Go, my friend! Flip! There was a pickup right there. Maybe I should have just rushed it. Very much in the style of the original game, absolutely. At least it took characters from 3. But it doesn't have the vibe of 3. 3 was really interesting. And I think it doesn't really... Yeah, it doesn't have the same tone. But what would a 3D Toe Jam and L be like apart from that? Considering the original is like very much in the style of Rogue, as in that sense, a roguelike. Oh, we got a lightsaber now. What's this one? Circle. Okay. It's... I'm sure that's just the lightsaber sounds from Star Wars. Thanks, Ben Burt. Yeah, but like roguelikes have evolved a lot since then and are so popular that I think you could do a lot with a new Toe Germinal by iterating on the rogue stuff. Oh, there's other exits. Gotta find the right one, I guess. I note that I can also repel blaster bolts in true Star Wars fashion. Oh, Gibbon said almost exactly that in chat. I promise I didn't read your comment before saying all that stuff myself, but as she says, I feel like with the evolution of the roguelike as a genre, there's so many other things to take inspiration from and ways to build the game to still keep it funky and fresh while also being in 3D. And yeah, absolutely. Although, how many 3D roguelikes are there? A lot of indie games are still 2D. Risk of Rain 2? By extension, Megabonk? They're 3D? I don't know. There's so many of them, but there must be a lot of 3D ones. It's just... When I think of roguelikes, a lot of the ones I think of are side-scrollers or top-down. But yeah, I'm sure it's easy to put roguelite mechanics at least into all sorts of games, so I'm sure there's 3D ones out there that I can't think of right now. But yeah, I'd love to see a new Echo, whatever they do with it. I don't care what ideas they have, I just want to play another Echo game. Oops, hold on. Gibbon says, I feel like a lot of top-down roguelike designs can be applied to 3D, but randomization really isn't the novelty it used to be. Yeah, that's true. I think people take it for granted a lot now. I like that this has designed levels, but if they put this out today, they might have procedurally generated levels or something. I could see that being a possibility for where the design process went. Whereas the way they've tailored challenges in the levels is cool, and you don't get that with procedural generation. Oops. Yeah, I guess when this was made, the big thing was user-generated content, because you've got the level select bundled and the level creator bundled into this. Oh boy. And both of those are a way to extend the life of the game beyond a selection of levels you've made. What's that in the distance? It's the crashed alien spaceship. Initializing all systems. Time to save the Prime Minister. Kazoom! Conglacio 6. The aliens may be holding the Prime Minister here. Alright, so we're off to our first alien world. Very icy place, it looks like. We had ice levels in Echo, of course. In fact, this doesn't look too different from anything you could find on Earth, which is a little disappointing. And it's the same enemies too, but well, that's fine. It's a new background, if nothing else. We're nominally on an alien planet, which is cool. So we'll see what happens later. I'm guessing the level select, I could actually see a list of all the enemies that are in the game. But I didn't really spoil myself on it, I just knew there's Robo Sharks later, I guess. Oopsie. Randomization can't carry the whole design. A new Toe Jam NL would need something more going on mechanically. Whoops. Yeah, but what that could be, I'm not sure. Oh god. Wow. Especially when you've got stuff like Hades, which I sink 80 hours into easily and still haven't exhausted all the extant post-game story dialogue or completed all the miscellaneous objectives. Wow. That's really daunting to me, saying the length of it like that. And I may have put that amount of time into Donkey Kong Bonanza lately. But I think that game did drag on a bit when I was doing all the cleanup at the Emerald Rush. Oh boy. Which itself is a roguelike mode. Okay. Oh, and that's just Hades 1! Hades 2 is almost twice the scope in size. Good lord. Given it's not completed Emerald Rush. I did do the whole thing. I took the Switch 2 when I went to visit my parents for the weekend. And did a few runs. Did a lot of runs, like in the car and at their place. But then it wasn't ideal, because the smaller screen and the awkwardness of the Joy-Cons meant I could not perform as well in Emerald Rush as I could on TV with controller. But I managed to grind some points up that way, if nothing else. And it was a bit of a grind. Just clearing difficulties on stages, which showed me how some stages are a lot more fun to play in Emerald Rush than others. But the ones that actually reward different kinds of strategies are kind of fun. Like, I liked Feast Layer when I had ostrich-based stuff. As long as the goals didn't keep sending me to the sub-layer, which is my main frustration with just the level design there. It doesn't suit Emerald Rush, the level design, for a lot of the levels. When you're having to go through, like, these more linear obstacle course type areas and between sub-levels, it just doesn't work, I think. Maybe there's something to be found over here. Just a gold dolphin. It says she's bad at Emerald Rush and doesn't feel like frustrating herself by grinding it out through failures. Sounds like pulling teeth. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm bad at it, I'm like average at it, so I wasn't failing all the time, which was nice. I imagine it wouldn't be much fun if you were, and you wouldn't get many points that way either. I still don't know what dictates how the points are calculated, but I'm sure that not actually passing is bad for points. Yeah. Like, it tells you what the chip rewards are for doing certain things or collecting certain amounts of things. But it doesn't tell you how to get more merit points or rating points or whatever, which is what the meta progression is based around. getting to 10,000 points. Your brain hasn't latched onto it the way some others have. Yeah, I'm certainly no ape. Our friend Andrew is a savant on Emerald Rush. Of like executing it, but also coming up with strategies, which then other people are able to some extent, follow his ideas to get good scores. But he seems to max out the emeralds, you know, totals, both in normal play and in events. He's a real genius, that guy. So if you're having trouble with the current Bonanza event, check out the latest Idaho cruise stream on DK Vine's Twitch channel, where Andrew figures out how to do really well and then gets a completely maxed out score gauge, and it's really impressive. Which I know Gibbon already did follow instructions to clear the event. I'm just saying for any general viewer. Of course, the event will be over in a few days and you will never be able to play it again, seemingly. So it's pointless talking about it on this stream that will be archived. There's a lot more people watch the VODs than watch live. Although how far they get through, I'm not sure. Anyway. Oh, it's getting hot. It's been quite unpleasant recently here in terms of the weather. Super hot, rainy, just makes it humid. I moved here to get away from humidity. I moved inland, you know. Living on the coast was painful in that way. Go away! They're so strong. Okay. Given followed the instructions, it still took her multiple attempts because the RNG screwed her over with digging drops and she failed out a couple of times. Yeah, that's rough. I followed the instructions partially, but didn't like focus on certain things the way I did. And I got really lucky and managed to clear it on the first try. But yeah, it could easily have gone wrong. But I didn't bother playing it again since I'd passed it. Even though I think the events are interesting in the way they restrict what perks are available and like how your build is going to go. So you sort of have to solve them the way they're intended rather than figuring out your own builds. Which is why it's so stupid that you can only play them for a week and then they are gone forever, seemingly. Yeah, and there is still some RNG, but less of it. Oops. At least in terms of what perks are given to you and stuff. Spawning treasure chest, yeah, that's still RNG. What drops you get from them. Okay, this is... oh, the end. Right. Okay. Wow. The bombers are out. I'm getting more mandatory jumps, which is fun. Ooh, here we go. Guess we're diving. Oops. I think we go right. Never mind. Why would I go left? Ah. For Dolphin. What other Sega series from the Mega Drive days needs to come into 3D? They did a 3D Golden Axe and apparently it was really bad. That was Beast Rider on the PS3. What else? Ever heard of Sonic the Hedgehog? I think his 3D games have been mixed. They could do another Golden Axe. Yeah, but even when you get like beat-em-up games these days, they're like retro 2D throwbacks. I guess there's no reason beat-em-ups can't be 3D. But they tend to sort of expand them out when they go 3D. Controllable camera, that kind of thing. Adding in different mechanics. But yeah, you could do it. You could even turn Golden Axe into a Souls-like if you really wanted to. Oh, here we go. The Robo Sharks are here. A new enemy type, and they look gross. Very Man's Nightmare, in fact. The open saws are kind of disturbing, unless those are red wires or something. You see the red wires behind the fin, like pipes. But the rest of it, I'm not so sure. Are these guys invincible? Bring back Alex Kidd. He was in Sega Gaga. But yeah, like, there's plenty you could do turning a 2D platformer into a 3D platformer. Lots of sources of inspiration. Okay, I'm gonna assume these guys are invincible. So we just avoid it, I guess. But yeah, Alex Kidd seems like he was just instantly forgotten when they came up with Sonic. He was like the closest thing they had to a mascot, and they didn't need him anymore after that. Especially if they were propping up Sonic as the next thing. Like, the speed and the structure of it was the impressive thing. And then going back to an older kind of game design just wouldn't have been impressive in that way. But you could do stuff with Alex Kidd these days, you know. It is slower paced, but it's got more interactivity. You could, you know, sort of go Wonder Boy style with Alex Kidd, maybe. Have a more open structure, like puzzly stuff, RPG elements. I think at least one Alex Kidd game had RPG elements, right? 3D Wonder Boy. Wow, that's the question. Because the early Wonder Boy sequels were sort of taking Zelda inspiration, so you could easily do a Zelda-style 3D Wonder Boy. But with the transformations from Dragon's Trap and Monster Boy and that kind of thing. Because, like, Zelda hasn't really experimented much with that since Majora's Mask, so pick that up and do something cool with that, I think. I think that would be a lot of fun. Given has not played a single Alex Kidd. Yeah, me neither. I've just seen footage, really. They did do like a remake of the first Alex Kidd a while ago, which is kind of the most boring thing you can do with the series, is remake the oldest, creakiest game and do nothing with do nothing with it. It was just such a straight-laced remake. Ugh, so dumb. Yeah, they need to do something that's not that. If they want it to be relevant beyond just nostalgia throwback for people who played the original, you know. There's no reason for somebody to play that Alex Kidd remake if they didn't grow up with Alex Kidd. But yeah, I don't know much about it. There's other installments. There was one that was like a reskinned, like he was living in a medieval Japanese castle or something. There's other installments that I don't really know much about, but I think the original game at least, and maybe some of the follow-ups, committed cardinal sins of game design as far as I'm concerned, in that they had boss fights that relied on paper, scissors, rock as a mechanic. It was literally like junk and pawn matches to do boss fights, which is simply random chance, by the way. I don't know if there were like ways you could get around them just being purely random, but it's it just seems extremely boring and unfun to me, at least. Who's really a fan of Alex Kidd anyway? Even people who grew up with it call it Alex the Kid. But this is just normies who aren't immersed in games all the time and just vaguely remember things. I was talking to someone recently who grew up with Banjo-Kazooie, and like, oh, you've activated my track card. This is one of my special interests. But I can't engage with that too much with someone who only vaguely remembers it. Like, they barely remembered that Kazooie existed, you know? We need a health refill. I think there's one over here. Oh god. These turret clusters are a menace. What else? Sega recently brought back Shinobi, but as a 2D kind of throwback kind of thing. At least it was a new game. But I also heard it wasn't very good. But there were 3D Shinobis, weren't there? Or am I thinking of Ninja Gaiden? I think there were Shinobis. Because when I was playing Sega Heroes, the Match 3 RPG, there were like Shinobi characters from games that I was not familiar with. And they weren't just Joe Shinobi or whatever. But yeah, again, that's like 3D action ninja games. There's been a million of those. So it's not something that you could come in and make a new one and wow people, really. You know? Like, a new 3D Echo, that would wow people. That's new, that's different. We haven't had games like that in so long. We need something that's not just the same thing that everyone's doing. I guess what Sega's doing now is Sonic games and Yakuza just over and over. Yakuza this, remakes, spin-offs, Yakuza that. And I don't really have any interest in that series. But that's what they're all in on. Of course, they're also got the IP that they've acquired, like Atlas stuff, which I also am not interested in. Like, they don't... I'm sure they don't feel the need to make another Phantasy Star because they have, you know, Shin Megami Tensei or whatever in their portfolio of copyright licenses. Okay, this is just an avoid 'em up level, I guess. Just a maze where we avoid the sharks. It's like Pac-Man. Now Shadow Labyrinth, that is a different thing. A reinterpretation of a classic series that does something different, although reviews are apparently mixed on that one. And it is just a 2D Metroidvania, really, which is not exactly the most groundbreaking thing in the world. The last Phantasy Star came out in 2021. Was getting consistent releases up until then. Huh. Okay. I stand corrected. I guess Phantasy Star Online, right? I was thinking of, like, Phantasy Star Classic, which was then replaced by Phantasy Star Online. But I didn't know they were still making, yeah, even those ones. That's interesting. I'm curious what that level is called. Oh yeah, you get a little gold icon there if you've gotten all the dolphins. Really, I've only done it 3 times. Well, sharks ahoy, and this one's jump. Yeah, that surprises me to hear that Sega have made Phantasy Star games relatively recently. What else? What's another Sega thing? Knuckles Chaotix. Wah! Okay, so there are multiple jumps. Just get the speed up and do a dive. That's so cool. I love the dive. Okay, let's clear out some enemies and get some space. Never mind. We didn't need that collectible. Go! Yeah! Maybe we'll just rush through this bit too. Yeah, make the jump and you're safe. Except for the new hazards that are in the next pool. Oops. Okay, we're very low in health, so let's clear some stuff out. Oh no. I was hoping for a collectible. No! Okay. Sega, what else did they do? They got beat 'em ups, which I don't care about. I mentioned Golden Axe. That's a beat 'em up I care more about because at least it has a theme. guess the most famous things in the early days were like racing games, which I don't care much about, although Sega GT 2002 was cool just because I had it at launch on my Xbox. But I was much more interested in Jet Set Radio Future, which was bundled on the same disc. Now there's a game they should make another one of. And they're apparently working on both a remake and a new installment of Jet Set Radio or something. So I've heard. I'll believe it when I see it. Although, given the fact that Team Reptile has made the best Jet Set Radio game in decades with Bomb Rush Cyberpunk and is working on a follow-up, I don't know if we really need Sega to make their own version anymore. Not to mention the other indie ones like Hover and Neon Tail and Butterflies, which I've really enjoyed. But yeah, like, after they made Jet Set Radio Future, I never want to have a Jet Set Radio style game again. So that game is like so clunky and arcadey and just... yeah. All the indie stuff rightly knows that Future was a superior game. Okay. Whoops. Whoops. Oh boy. Okay, well, we'll try this again. Gavin is watching gameplay of the last couple of Alex Kidd titles on the Genesis, and it seems similar to the gameplay of Wonder Boy, but without the level design or RPG elements. Huh. Yeah, which is what I suggested they could add to make it different, but then it would just be Wonder Boy. But then again, Sega doesn't own Wonder Boy anymore, so... maybe they could return to Alex Kidd and make it a bit more Wonder Boy-ish and actually have it be cool again. I don't know. Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, Wonder Boy in Monster World... were on shelves at the same time, and I can't see a world where I picked Enchanted Castle over Monster World. Yeah, that's funny. This is that thing where they had similar things out, so you're like, okay, well, why would I get this when there's this? But yeah, I guess Sega did have that big, like, announcement, I guess that's a couple of years ago at this point, where they were like, oh, we're working on all these franchises, they're gonna have new installments, and Shinobi was part of that. I don't think anything else has come of that so far, but it shows that they're thinking about some of the things they own and what they could do with it. Just remains to be seen whether any of it will be successful or good. I guess the Yakuza has replaced Shenmue, right? And then the creator of Shenmue is making his own Shenmue games. Which are also getting mixed reception. Sega still owns the Wonder Boy / Monster World brand, just not the character concepts or world, which is why Monster Boy is called Monster Boy instead of Wonder Boy or Monster World. Huh. Right. So they own it, but they're not doing anything with it, which is why the other companies Yeah. Hmm. So is Sega involved in the re-releases like Usher and Monster World Remake kind of thing? Or do they just own... Yeah, I don't know. Did they have to publish it or what? I don't know how it works. So they could do a new Monster World game of their own. It would seem odd to do that with the Monster Boy and such existing. Oh boy. Maybe they could do a crossover of Alex Kidd and Monster World. And it would combine the two. Oh god, that sucked. All of those had to be licensed from Sega. Okay, so they had to at least license Monster World 4 to do the remake. Even if Sega weren't involved in developing it. Sega actually ended up involved with Monster Boy as well, but only the publishing of the physical version. Ah, okay. Interesting. That's something. Good to have them involved. Wow, it's such a different gameplay style with the laser, with the lightsaber. Does a lot of damage to the eel. I guess we could test if it can kill the shark. But I'm gonna assume it can't, because I tried to kill the sharks, and the shark chase levels seem to imply that they were invincible and they just had to be run away from. Alright, I'm gonna go a bit more careful in this part. As long as the shark doesn't come back. Oh man! Oh no! Wow, bad timing on all those hits. And again. They did Alex Kidd in Shinobi World, so why not? True! I never thought if that was a crossover, an actual crossover with Shinobi the series. But it is called Alex Kidd in Shinobi World. I don't think there's any, like, lore connection, but... Yeah, Alex Kidd should be this crossover character that goes into other game worlds. That could be fun. Oh, health. Blessed health. Difficulty has really ramped up in this game. What's the time? Oh boy. I hope I even get to... Yeah, we'll just keep going. I feel really bad today, but I'm gonna keep playing anyway. But if I have to do a part 2, I will. It's fine. Can always combo up with some other Echo fan games I've been sitting on for a while. I haven't done the research for them, but they're in a folder. Well, one is. But I think some others exist. There might have been more that were made while I was just waiting. According to Wikipedia, Alex Kidd in Shinobi World does play like a Shinobi game. That's awesome. So it is an actual crossover of sorts. I wasn't sure if that was the thing where like they'd reskinned it for a Western release, but I might be just thinking of other games. But yeah, like, Alex Kidd had to be adaptable because the first game is just so plain and there's nowhere really to go from there. So I approve of them mixing it up and experimenting. Okay, what else? What other Sega games exist that need to be reinvented? Okay, think back to... Oh, here we go, sorry. We are not done with the Alex Kidd conversation, which is fine. One of the earlier Alex Kidd games was just a reskin of the unrelated Japanese title, but it wasn't the Shinobi one. That one was as is. Okay, yeah, I thought there was something like that. a little slower. The biting sound is so good. You know what this reminds me of with the pre-rendered stuff and how I was talking about it being DOS style? I was actually thinking of a classic Mac game. The Monkey Shines games. That's in my mind because I've been updating my Donkey Kong and Friends pixel art, which has hundreds of characters on it. Doing a big Bonanza update and adding other things too. And yeah, Monkey Shines and Guerrilla Warfare were such fun things to try out on stream, and they were classic Mac games. But it's the same era as the DOS boom. Okay, we did quite well there. Got a decent amount of health. No power up, but if we play carefully from here, I think we have a good chance. They also did an Alex Kidd entry in their BMX Trials series. What? Okay, obviously I've forgotten all about this. They had a series of BMX games, and they did an Alex Kidd version of a BMX game. That's really interesting. Yeah, I guess this is the time when he was the mascot and they were putting him in lots of different things, huh? It's the equivalent of the Sonic Racing games, which I was about to bring up when trying to think of other Sega series. So yeah, who's in the Sonic Sega Superstars games? Oh yeah, Virtua Fighter. Yeah, that's sure is a fighting game. Does Sega have other fighting games, or is it just that? It was like so... It was really a big deal at the time because of the 3D graphics and gameplay. But now it's just... like it's just another fighting game. It doesn't really stand out, really, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think about it at all. Virtua Fighter. They still make one every now and then. But they had other fighting series, didn't they? That's why they had Fighters Megamix, which combined Sonic the Fighters, Virtua Fighter, that one where the characters had armor on that could break off. What was that called? I don't remember. What else was in Megamix? They do... Oh, that's the end. Oh, thank God. Okay. We're through that level. That was a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, new installments in classic fighting game series are always few and far between these days. And they gotta make them last as long as possible. They just keep expanding them with DLC. And bloody crossover characters from other fighting game series. That's a trend that I think is really dumb. Like putting Mai Shiranui in Street Fighter. Like, who cares? I don't know. I guess some people care, but that's... yeah. That's dumb. And I'm sure Gibbon could say a lot about guest characters in Mortal Kombat. Oh, short level, thank goodness. Guest characters need to stop, absolutely. Especially if it's just from another fighting game. Alas, the Prime Minister was not on Conglacio 6. Where to next? Volcan 2. Alright, let's have a look at the map screen. The other planets are shorter than Earth, but harder. So we might be about halfway-ish, which is pretty good pace. So that was Hoptastic. And the first level here is just called Vulcan. That's cool. This background does look significantly different and non-Earth-like because of the heavy red shading on the water and the sky. And those mountains with the sort of striations in them, that does look kind of alien too, so yeah, I'm gonna give this a big tick for feeling more alien than the last one did. But of course, it's the same enemies again. But that's okay. This is just a budget downloadable game after all. Okay, who else is in Sega Superstars? Puyo. There's Puyo stuff in some of them. That sure is a series. Got kind of a resurgence last generation with Puyo Puyo Tetris and its sequel. And even like a competitive focused spin-off or something. So yeah, I think that's pretty healthy. I don't know if Puyo needs to go 3D though. Tetris has gone 3D a few times and it's not exactly successful. Whoops, I accidentally clicked main menu. Dang. Okay. What else? House of the Dead. That was already 3D. And apart from just making more of them, I don't know what they can do with that. It's a rail shooter. Rather a shooting gallery game. I don't like calling those rail shooters, even though it's kind of an interchangeable term at times. To me, a rail shooter is more that you have movement in your... Well, Space Harrier is an example, I guess. What they need to do is do a modern port of Planet Harriers, because that's cool. I played it once in a Japanese arcade, and it's locked to the arcade. It's never been ported. Didn't even get like a Dreamcast conversion at the time or anything. It's a 3D rail shooter that is stuck on Japanese arcades and it needs another chance. Failing that, some other rail shooter based Space Harrier installment. But again, the indie space kind of has that covered. You got Air Twister, Asura the Striker, and those have, I believe, both. Air Twister definitely does, has involvement of the original Sega people who made Space Harrier and etc. But yeah, there's plenty of those. I feel like rail shooters are kind of having a resurgence at the moment, which is nice. As a big fan of Lila Wars, I could not be more happy. And which brings me onto a little teaser for next year. I've been meaning to try some indie Star Fox likes for a while, and I think that could be a good stream series, which I'll delve into. I was sort of thinking about doing that at the end of last year for this year, and it never ended up happening, so I'm seeing it now in hopes that it does become something that I actually do in 2026. Just playing games related to Star Fox, whether it be contemporary rail shooters or other Argonaut games, and new indie Star Fox likes. That's the plan. So the thing about Puyo, Gibby says, it was originally a puzzle spin-off using the characters of a first-person dungeon-crawling RPG franchise, Mado Monogatari, and I was aware of this, yes. Oh, the turtle from behind! Rude. Okay, I take way too much damage getting the rocket, so why don't we try bypassing it and just moving on instead. We can skip past all this. And then just make a run for it. Down here. Making some progress. I accidentally hit Neil. Yeah, I think that could work. So Mado Monogatari did get a new entry in 2024 after about 20 years. Wow, okay. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Is that still a Sega thing at this point? I guess they still own Puyo, right? So I'm sure it would be. Okay, so we're just gonna skip past this. Took a lot of damage. Maybe there's a health over this way. Whoops. I think there might be. I'll go for that. The new one is third person. Oh, okay. Still. Dungeon crawlers. Also a popular genre, but also not really my thing. When they announced the new Vampire Survivors game, I was like, ooh, and then it's a dungeon crawler. Oh, never mind. Also, it's a deck builder. Yes, I keep clicking off the window. It's a problem. Is there a way to like lock your mouse to a window on the OS level? I don't think so. Okay. So now we'll just skip past all these turrets. And then we're gonna go this way. Yeah, that happened last time. I guess I just need to go slow through that section. That's not what I want to do. Let's try one more fast. Can take a few hits here because you get that pickup. And then we just dive straight away. And it's going well. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, well that was a dead end. So don't go that way. We probably need to go right actually. Okay, we'll go the pacifist route this time. No shooting. Ow. That was brutal. Okay, I feel like, yeah, the end is probably over here. One more hit. Ooh! Yeah, that's definitely the way. It worked up to a point. I think we gotta start blasting when I get to the mine zone there. Okay, so straight down here. Actually aiming the dolphin is a good strategy. Oh boy. Okay, why don't we go for the rocket again? That'll help us blast through. Maybe I can... the eel just does so much damage. If you do like this and then rush out, you still get hit a ton of times. Tricky. Okay, who else is in Sega Superstars? Crazy Taxi. Now that they could just make another one. I think that was one of the titles that was getting a new installment in the big blowout. Although I don't know how you modernize it or whether a Crazy Taxi fan wants you to modernize it. I think they just want you to actually secure the music licenses. And they've always been very arcadey. You could... oh boy. Make it a bit more, I don't know, open world, GTA-ish, I suppose. But then it would become something different, and maybe not what people want. Was the Simpsons Crazy Taxi clone after Crazy Taxi's heyday? Was it like a revival thing, or was it a sort of contemporary clone? I'm not really sure about that. I think Crazy Taxi had an installment in the same generation as The Simpsons, whatever it was called. Was it Hit and Run, or was that the GTA clone? The fish are the big problem here. We can get a refill there. Oh my gosh. I just funneled through that little gap. Oh god. Well, here we are with little health left. Maybe there's another collectible somewhere. More fish, my arch enemy. These homing missiles are the worst. Okay. 0 health. There's a dolphin. Just need to deal with these turrets. There's so many. It got me. Yeesh. Alright, who else is in Sega Superstars? Space Channel 5. You could make a new one of those at like budget level and it could be cool, I guess. I don't know, it feels like rhythm games are not exactly the zeitgeist. Although there are plenty of indie ones, I suppose. In different styles. Did Rift of the Necrodancer make much of a splash? I bought it. I haven't got around to playing it yet. I just saw that it had like tons of paid DLC where you buy individual songs, and I'm not really pleased about that. Oh, dang it. That was an unforced error. Okay, I think I should be able to get this now. That's what I needed. So we got the rocket. Gibbon is also not super down with all the song DLC stuff in Rift. Yeah. It seemed really... just, yeah. Not very nice as a player experience. But a lot of it is like licensed stuff, so I guess they need to pay for the licenses. But still, it could be in bundles or something. I don't know. Okay, I'm actually gonna go left, even though I know it's not the right way, because I think there's a health over here. Yeah, okay. So we're losing time on the rocket, but I think it's worth it just to get a bit of health. Oh, after clearing out those rooms. And we've still got a little bit of time left on it to blast our way through here. Pretty sure you can get bundles. Okay, well... maybe you can, but still. It's very much in the Guitar Hero mold of DLC. Which makes sense, I guess, but also April was looking at it and it adds up to $80. Good grief, and that's even more in my money. Oh my god. This level is so rough. Okay. Oh my god. Health! We're good, we're good. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna inch our way forward. Oh no, I'm gonna dive right into some turrets. Oh god. And fish, of course. Okay, seagulls down. Fish are down. Turrets down. Second turret. Okay. The end was right there. And we full cleared that level. How about that? Oh boy. I need a drink. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, Space Channel 5, like that sort of character narrative-based rhythm game, just reminds me of Parappa, which, like, the creators tried to Kickstarter spiritual successor and it utterly failed. But I think part of that was because it had nowhere near the charm of the Parappa world with the Rodney Greenblatt designs and all that. Is it Rodney? Yeah, it's Rodney Fun. And also, everybody knows that Lammy was always the better game than Parappa. And they're not interested in doing that. I guess one of the people involved with the reboot was the Guitaru Man guy, I think. But that was always a very cult series, even more so than Parappa. I almost bought the PSP one of that once, the Guitaru Man. But the aesthetic really didn't appeal to me. Guitaru Man was the same guy as the Parappa games. Oh, okay. Well, Masaya, what was it? Something. Matsuro? I don't know. Didn't realize it was the same guy. Alright, who else is in Sega Superstars? Gilius from Golden Axe, we covered that. There weren't any Streets of Rage characters in any of those games, but they're in Sega Heroes. But again, we talked about how the beat-em-ups, and there was a Streets of Rage 4 like a few years back, I guess. A modern revival. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the end. Nice. Oh, rocket right off the bat. I love you, Laser Dolphin. The cathartic blast 'em up level. Okay, maybe we want to avoid blasting the eels, actually. Let's waste time. Okay. Oh boy. I ran out! Wasted time on those eels. Oh, another power. This is the Animal Antics level. Except it's Ammo Antics. Could be wrong. Well, if it wasn't the same guy, then both guys were involved in that frog rapping game or whatever. Okay, whew. No health left. Careful, careful. When does the arrow appear? Oh, you can right-click to swim, actually, instead of spacebar. Oh! Served me right. Great time to experiment with controls halfway through a really hard level. Okay, so we're not going to be too trigger happy here because of the eels. Once we get to that open cavern. In fact, we just run past this bit. Eels following me. Okay, there's got to be a health around here somewhere, right? Past an eel? My worst nightmare. Who else? I don't know, I played as Gum and Beat a lot in those games, in the racing games, in the tennis game. Yeah, that's up. Opa Opa from Fantasy Zone. That's a thing. Another shooter. But a different kind. A horizontal scrolling. A few years back, Sega did a thing on Steam where they released a bunch of free games temporarily. And some were like prototypes that had been cancelled, which some of the original developers weren't happy about because they weren't credited properly. But one of them was a Fantasy Zone take called Endless Zone, and I don't remember anything about how it played. But they have done something with Fantasy Zone in recent years. Sort of. But that could be another one where roguelike stuff could come into it, because it's like that level-based open style of structure where you buy power-ups on each stage. So it already had some of those mechanics to it. Oh gosh. Okay, so there's turtles down here. Where are they? I think I shot some off screen. Okay. Stay back, you wretched... Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Gimme health, blessed health. Okay. That's only the second one. But yeah, I don't think you would turn Fantasy Zone 3D unless you were somehow keeping that kind of exploration element to it somehow. So that could be interesting, actually, because that would be a very different kind of game to a potential Planet Space Harrier revival. Okay. Shenmue. Get Joe Shenmue. They don't own that anymore, and Yakuza is the new Shenmue, so whatever. Whoa, hang on a second. This happened in Echo 2. You get the evil robot dolphin. Jeez. Lucky his blasts are very weak. And I'm a better shot. Whoa, that was intense. Very different kind of enemy encounter. One that moves like you. Oh, good stuff. So that was Evil Dolphin. The clue's in the name. But we didn't read the name until afterwards. Okay, this is Path. Bloody fish. Take that. I was trying so hard to avoid the rocket that I ran into mines. Ironic, I guess. Hang on, there's a gap here. Ooh. Okay, a different kind of path. Where's this gonna lead? Oh, that's it? Take me now. Okay. Okay, the missiles do despawn if you get far enough away from them, but only if you're going fast enough. And the fish are following me, of course. Okay, so that's just a pickup. But we do need it. Yeah. Cool. Oh boy, why did I do that? Wait, why am I rapid firing? The 4 times power gives you a rapid fire. That's so helpful. I guess it means every shot is a charge shot, basically. I'm still learning things about this game. Okay. And you do move faster if you're aiming in the direction that you're moving. It's a fun little quirk of the movement system. Wow, that did not go well. The missile fish are actually really hard to deal with when you're in lightsaber mode. Although I think you can destroy their missiles. And clicking does nothing, by the way. In case you're wondering. Yeah. Oh no! Seagulls are a big danger here. Oh, okay. Well, let's leave that one. Oh, hitting him through walls. I love it. Ah! It ran out. Okay. Who's next? Who else is in Seeker Superstars? Oh, Knights, of course, Knights. Knights was so singular, so different. When they attempted to make another one, it didn't go too well. Journey of Dreams. People compare Balan Wonderworld to Knights because of the character design, but it really is nothing like Knights. But I don't know, have there been any like indie Knights likes? Again, it's like such a unique kind of game that I don't know if anyone's really tried to replicate it. Knights and Billy Hatcher both deserve new games. That's another one from Sega Superstars, Billy Hatcher. Again, already 3D, but like, yeah, I've moved beyond that by just thinking of characters from Sega Superstars because it covers different eras, which is my bad. But yeah, a new Knights could be interesting if they find a way to add something to it. I'm not really sure because I played a bit of Journey to Dreams, but I don't really remember it. Journey of Dreams. And I've played through all of Knights into Dreams. Yeah, Knights into Dreams is the original game. Journey of Dreams is the Wii game. But I couldn't tell you like what they changed and what they got wrong. I just know that people don't like it. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't try again. Sonic Roboblast 2, a fan game, has Knights-style bonus stages and they're very fun. Okay, that's interesting. So that's an indie Knights-like in a way. That's good to know. Okay, we're gonna slip in and grab this and then back out. Fish every time. Okay. Yeah, we were more... Oh, no, another evil dolphin. Gotta get into an open space to fight this. Oh, it seems to become a better shot. Oh, no! The mine! I could grab this. Oh, it took a few hits. Okay, we did it. Now I need some help desperately. I already used up that one down there. So I have to cover some ground to get the next one. Billy Hatcher is another one like Knights, where it's like, it had a really cool mechanic and like they iterated on it a lot in the game to the extent where like it doesn't feel like it has a whole lot of sequel potential, you know? But you know, I'm not a game designer. They could make a new Billy Hatcher, I'm sure. And they could find a way to make it interesting and worthwhile, I'm sure. Just like Ristar. Ristar does, I can see the potential in that because of the arm grabbing mechanic thing. Like, that could work in 3D. Chameleon Twist is sort of like that in a way. Sort of like colourful platformer with a extendo grappling kind of mechanic to it. So yeah, Ristar's another one of those one-off Sonic Team games. But that is one where I think I can see potential in expanding it, so yeah. Alright, there's that pickup over here. I'm gonna actually follow the path to the Evil Dolphin this time. Get rid of some of these. Okay, we'll get the health now. We'll use the power-up to take out the Evil Dolphin. Where are you? Ah! Always such a shock. Let's try charge shots. Oh, there we go. Luring it into the mine. That is a strategy. Took care of it pretty quick. Nice. Okay, this must be progression. The other way must have just been led to a gold dolphin. Oh, but it's pointing me that way. It probably just wraps around though. Yes. Feels good to sneak up on a fish like that. Oh boy. Nearly had it. Please tell me we're near the end. Oh, I'll take that. Oh no, he missed it! Okay. Cool. Ah, good. What else? Monkey Ball. Enough said. They're pumping out Monkey Ball games lately. But they're all just the same thing again and again, as far as I can tell. Like, the one time the Monkey Ball series tried something different was Traveler's Tales doing Super Monkey Ball Adventure, which gave it, like, a hub world and exploration and more story and almost like RPG elements. That's what I want to see iterated on again, because that's the only Monkey Ball game I've like really loved, and I couldn't even get through it because it was too hard. Oh god. But since then it's all just been the same arcade stuff. Hasn't seemed to really advance the series in my eyes. So they keep making a lot of Monkey Ball games, but they seem kind of stuck to me. This way, I guess? But I fear I've strayed from the premise. I keep talking about games that already were 3D. So I'm going to look up a list now when I get through this stage. Oh boy, if I get through this stage. Also, do you mind if I experiment with something? I bought a little tiny fan to keep me cool, and the heat is getting to me. So I'd like a little feedback on how, if this is affecting the microphone output. If it's generating noise that is unpleasant. So I'm going to turn it on in a second. Oh god. Yeah, I haven't turned it on yet. Okay. Fan is on and pointing at me. I've moved it a little away from the mic. Let's put it at the low setting, actually. Oh, that's very nice. Can you hear a fan? I think at that low setting it should be fine. The end. You can't hear it. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. I'm gonna look up a list of Sega games. Well, this is a very long list. Ah yes, Congo Bongo. They really need to do a new one of those. Maybe the first isometric platformer, which, being 3D on its debut, where do you go from there? Maybe they could make it fully polygonal 3D, call it Congo Bongo 64. Bring back Ikegami Tsushinki. I'm sure they're still around. Making microwaves or something. Oh boy. What a chump that guy has. Look at all these old arcade games I've never heard of. Star Trek? I guess they published a Gremlin Star Trek arcade game. Oh yeah, I guess there was the remake of Congo Bongo on the PS2 in that arcade collection thing, right? But they need to go further than that. Ugh. I can't believe that shark. Sega Gallagher? That's just a version of Gallagher, I guess? What is going on with that? Okay, no further elaboration. Sega must have had other shoot-'em-up games though, ones that didn't really take off, I guess. Fantasy Zone did. More so than other things. Having a cute character helps. Like, that's the Twin B. Opa Opa essentially is Twin B. But Twin B series always had more appeal to me than Gradius, for example. Speaking of Konami things. But because of the character aspect of it, they also were able to expand Twin B into other genres. There was a Twin B platformer, Rainbow Bell, on the Super Famicom. There was a Twin B RPG game on the PS1. And you couldn't do that with Gradius. You couldn't have a Gradius platformer or a Gradius RPG. I think the bonus minigames in YY World 2 were based on Gradius, but like one of them was Gradius and one of them was Twin B, I think. But that's just replicating the same gameplay in a crossover game. Has Gradius had a new game for a while? No, we're talking about Sega today. Let's not get distracted. Flicky. Flicky's cool. I noted recently when I played Dodo Peak, which is a modern indie sort of arcade throwback. It takes from Cubit, but it also takes from Flicky in that you get a line of baby birds following you around. So that had unique mechanics that sometimes get iterated on. I don't know if it's happened much beyond that, but that was nice to see. Dodo Peak was really cute. You can get safe angles sometimes. Ugh. Curse this small window. No! No! Oh boy. Load Runner. It's not a Sega franchise. There was a 3D Load Runner on the 64. I don't think it was very good. Okay, I'm doing well in health this time. Oh, Girl's Garden, yeah. One of the original Girl games. We need to bring that back. That's a life sim or something. It's about gardening, in a way. Oh, Load Runner with 3D was great though? Aesthetically a little boring perhaps, but I love the gameplay of it. Oh, okay. All I remember was reading a review of it in one of my N64 magazines and how there's 2 enemy types in the whole game. They may have been exaggerating, but yeah, it didn't seem that impressive to me as a magazine reader. But to be fair, I never played the game, so I'll give you that. Okay. Maybe I should be playing this a little bit more like Mega Man, charging my shot between each encounter instead of rapid firing it. Oh, it's just the noise that is annoying me. The magazine doesn't sound that impressive to me. Hey, N64 Gamer was my childhood. I will not have you disparage it. But they did delve into the snark at times. At many times. It was the style at the time. Oh, at the end, thank God. We're out. There's also Cubic Load Runner on the PS2 and GameCube, which is more traditional. They're disparaging good games. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. I remember the Snowboard Kids 2 review, or it must have been Snowboard Kids 1, where the reviewer couldn't stop talking about the massive noses on the characters. A bit of a character design quirk of that artist. It's kind of a running gag. So yeah, they had shtick sometimes. But yeah, maybe they said the game was good, was fun to play as well, and I don't remember that part. It's possible. I could go and dive through the magazines in my cupboard, because I've still got them all. In fact, I'm going to do that. That'll be my little holiday project. Find the Lode Runner 3D review. If they're complaining about enemy variety, they've completely missed the point of Lode Runner. To be fair, I don't think they brought it up as a negative point, but when I read in their review, enemies come in 2 varieties, I thought to myself, wow, that doesn't sound very impressive. So yeah, let's not put it all on the reviewer, because part of it was my own interpretation as a discerning gamer. Okay. Now this is exciting. Fighting the evil dolphin in these cramped corridors. Very different. Stupid fish. Yeah, and then the problem with the charge shots is you can miss them. It's not like Mega Man, where everything's on a plane. We're very wide open here. Okay, evil dolphin is down. But anyway, that was all a tangent. I have been meaning to play some more Lode Runner games on stream. There's a couple of them on my big list. So I'll get there eventually. Dope. So what else did Sega do? I'm still thinking about Space Harrier and how that needs to come back, but while they haven't made a Space Harrier game in absolutely bloody ages, what they have done is Afterburner games, which are the same lineage with the super scaler and the flying into the screen and shooting and stuff. But the theme is just so boring to me. It's just like modern jet planes. You could do something more fantastical and interesting. I guess at some point the Afterburner series went kind of sci-fi, which I guess is cool. But yeah, still not really my thing. But yeah, they were like 3DS Afterburner games and other more recent things, I think. Lode Runner 2 needs a 3D remake. What's Lode Runner 2's deal? Ah, the end, thank goodness. Okay, let's scroll a bit. Zaxxon. Very early shoot 'em up. But again, we've talked about shoot 'em ups. Nowadays, the shoot 'em ups that get made more often seem to be catering towards shoot 'em up diehards, which makes them less accessible. That's my impression, anyway. Although I think Cotton Fantasy or Rock and Roll or whatever did a good job of being accessible. And I had the crossover characters for more appeal. That's the only reason I played it, is because Umihara Kawase is in it. They're making a sequel to that, right? Is she in that too? Is she in the sequel? I haven't been following it. Oh god. I angered the eel again. Why? Why was I so foolish? Oh, whoops. Well, that didn't go well. So there's a series of big jumps to gain elevation. That's fun. Oof. Okay. Health? No health. Oops. Okay. Oh, Gibbon got confused. Load Runner 2 is already an isometric 3D entry. Oh, I think I played a little bit of that once and it just kept crashing, so I need to figure out how to play it properly. Because, yeah, that did seem interesting, the isometric one. It was on the Commodore 64 or something. Oh no, sorry. Let me read the rest of your chat message. Load Runner 2 is already an isometric 3D entry. Gibbon was thinking of Lode Runner's Rescue, the primitive isometric entry on Commodore 64, about Lode Runner's daughter rescuing him, which is the one I played. And yes, the one I need to get back to. And yes, also needs a remake. Yeah, that did seem interesting. Okay, the squawk means I killed the seagull. This is very Atlantis. The Atlantis level in Echo had these big jump sections, like set pieces. There's more of them here. Okay. Why don't we use the space or the right click actually? A bit more precise. Yeah, that's the trick! Very cool. Right click for movement to get that precise jump. And we'll do it again here. What else? What else? Whoop. There we go. Hang on. Yeah, nobody needs a new hang on, do they? Impressive in its time. Motorbike racer. Again, the big thing about it was the scaling sprites and the real motorbike that you sit on in the arcade. Although racing games these days, like modern ones... Oh boy, I wanted to escape the eel, but I think I've got to kill it. Yeah, modern racing games feel like they're all car-based, so maybe a motorbike racing game would have some novelty these days, but I'm not sure. It's another genre again that is maybe catering to diehards who have the big rig. They're very discerning about simulation elements. Okay. They're involved in Pitfall Publishing, I guess. There's a Space Invaders on here. Yeah, this list is too big. Includes a lot of things that I can't really address as Sega games. Ninja Princess, that needs a new installment. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, the dive, that's cool. What a moment. We must be getting near the end of this planet. Oh god. Okay. Oh! Hit it through the wall. Yeah. Can we please get some health? No! Ninja Princess does. And don't take the princess out this time, you jerks. Huh. Oh, is that... what was it? They localized it and changed the play character to a man? Or was there a different remake or something? There's Space Harrier. There's Wonder Boy. There's Afterburner. Now we're in that golden age of Sega Arcade. Okay. Well, never mind. Actually, speaking of rail shooters like Space Harrier, we don't need a new Space Harrier. What we need is a new Panzer Dragoon. That's so much more interesting world. Space Harrier is just like random nonsense. Panzer Dragoon is a very well built fantasy world. I played through Panzer Dragoon Saga when I got COVID. I think it was last year. I wasn't that impressed. Panzer Dragoon needs to stay a rail shooter. And they need to port order. It's like Jet Set Radio Future. Panzer Dragoon Auto is stuck in Xbox hell. Like original Xbox. You must die. Thank you. There we go. And you as well. Oh, it wasn't a localization, it was a console port. The most advanced console port made a new male retainer character who needs to rescue the princess, who has been kidnapped. Oh no. How original. But it also adds a power-up system and hidden things. And it's that release that Murasame Castle is seemingly ripping off. Huh. Interesting. So that's the origins of Murasame Castle. Ugh. Those turrets. Okay. End? The end. Okay, let's take a... That was the last Voltan level. Vulcan secret jump. Which means we're onto the final planet, and presumably the Prime Minister will be here somewhere. Starting with chasms. No Prime Minister there. The aliens must have taken him to the alien homeworld. Well, okay, it seems obvious now. Oh, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is some Vortex stuff. Because Defender of the Future wasn't the first Echo game that had bad futures. Tides of Time had a bad future where the Vortex had taken over the world. And you go through their fortresses and they're all mechanized like this. So yeah, this is maybe riffing on that kind of thing. In the same way Murasame Castle was riffing on Ninja Princess. Well yeah, there's Alex Kidd BMX Trial. Alien Syndrome. That was a top-down shooter, wasn't it? A twin-stick shooter? Or at least they did a revival of it that was, so that's been done already. And in a style that's sort of perennial. Indie twin-stick shooters are always getting made. Whoops. Although the trend now is making Vampire Survivors clones. If you if you don't have better ideas, I guess. Not that they should do that with, what's it called? Alien Syndrome. Yeah, the right click strat, or spacebar if you prefer, is good for those jumps, definitely. Alright, let's just do a little race through here. Oh god, I shouldn't have done that. And I went the wrong way, and there was an eel, and I got scared. Yeah, this like avoid 'em and shot stuff is pretty interesting. Very different to Echo, absolutely. Just goes to show you could do anything with a dolphin game. Dolphins can be the protagonists of all kinds of genres. Remember when there was a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up where there was a dolphin that was just a pilot of an airplane? I think it was Aero Wings 3. Oh no, I needed that pickup. But I had to get around that whole thing to get it. Oh, alright. Little break. We're going to go to the instructions page and look at the weapon pickups. Yeah. Homing torpedoes. Yeah, yeah. The laser sword. Likely the most powerful weapon in the game. It quickly destroys just about any opponent. It can also deflect or destroy any incoming weapons. And we've probably seen most of the enemies now, so let's look at the list. TNT Turtle. They are trying to hug you. Missile Fish, my nemesis. Swim towards a wall and make a sharp turn at the last possible second, and the missile will hit the wall. Interesting. I have done that. Robo-Bird. Oh, they're robots. You can see the red eye. Are they all robots? Maybe all the enemies are robots. Drone. Robo-Shark. Impervious to all known forms of weapons available to dolphins. Your only option is to avoid them by dexterous swimming. Evil Dolphin. Face yourself. They are equipped with the very same laser as you. They are Laser Dolphin's ultimate, most deadly opponent. Well, it doesn't do that much damage though, so they're not that bad. Okay, we can look at stunt mode and race mode sections later. Because we're still in the middle of action mode. And I want to get through it, you know? Oh, hold on. Capture. Don't forget that. They are robots, but they sound like birds. They are robo-birds. The perfect fusion of beast and machine. Some kind of beast machine. Whee! No! It happened again. Yeah. Maybe we can just skim across the top and then quickly... Yeah! Oh, that didn't work. You do get the health refill though, so it might not be a terrible strategy. I think this is the final chasm though, so yeah. This is where things get ugly. Wow. I'm actually doing pretty well. Just deal with this and then get the health, and then we can maybe rush through the last bit. Yeah, these corridors are very vortex. Yikes. I did it, though. That was a winning strategy. Oh man, the TNT turtles. Yeah. Damn, pulling off a sick jump like that still feels so good. really nailed that. It's a big part of Echo as well. Doing cool jumps. Oh, don't tell me it's a dead end. No. They lured me in with an awesome rocket. Now I just have to go with the subpar laser sword. It's not as cool, I gotta say. Gotta be really careful with the TNT turtles. Don't let them get too close. Oh! No! Okay, another dead end. It's good to know. So why don't we go to the right this time? Okay, well, that answers that question. No! Yeah. Wait, so if that was a dead end... down here? Yeah, more power-up corridors. But which one is the correct corridor? Guess we'll find out. Damn, this power-up's kind of underwhelming, although at least it gives my clicking finger a bit of a break. Yep, that wasn't it either. So we can also 4 times and hold down the button here as well. Ooh, I'll take that. Go away. I'm trying to be a little speedy to make better use of my power up here. Oh no, another split. Well, we got the consolation prize of a health refill. Yeah. Let's try top path. This feels like progress. Go. Uh-oh. It wasn't progress. Oh, and I can't escape. Unless... Yeah, okay. Ooh, at the cost of much health. Okay, I guess... we'll go third path. Nope. Well, now I need to kill this eel. Oops. Here I was looking at a list of Sega games instead of focusing on this eel. Outrun. A classic. They have tried to revive it a few times. But not for a long time. Kind of the opposite of the simulation style racing game. Was the last Outrun game Outrun 2006? Was that really? Well, I guess there's been some indie games since then that have been inspired by it. There was a pretty cool Outrun course in Sonic Racing Transformed, but it was like a pre-order bonus only or something. So dumb. Alright, we did it. That was quite a tricky level. Multi-route. Now guaranteed. I'd love a guaranteed route. Because I found those dead ends frustrating. Let's run through that, okay. Sometimes it pays off. No! My health! That health drop was not guaranteed, because I missed it. And this one? Fish. Crap. So close. Well, now I know the winning strategy. To rush. Wow, right-clicking and left-clicking at the same time is a little tricky. Dope. Woody Pop. What is Woody Pop? Oh man, this is so bad. Okay. Focus. There we go. Ah, what's wrong? I was clicking in the wrong place. That was awkward. Okay. Please get health. I missed it! No! Okay. Health! Yay! Oh no! Oh, you know what I should do is turn the difficulty down. Because at this point I just want to get through the rest of this. Time is ticking on. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Main menu, options, easy. Oh, what's this? 4 times damage at all times. Oh, cheats. Finishing level does not count when cheats are turned on. Oh, okay. So I think you get these by collecting all the golden dolphins on a level. So it's another incentive to do it beyond collectibles. Big dolphin. Amazing. Cheats on doesn't count. That's great. Ah, well, I haven't been diligent in collecting other cheats, so I don't know what other ones could be, but yeah, that's too bad. I've got super laser. Every shot is a charge shot. Awesome. I like that. But we do need to do it legit. Maybe on very easy. It's that kind of day, you know? Yeah, let's do it very easy style. I love it. Oh yeah, TNT Turtle, no worries. We tank that all day, every day. In fact, let's go pacifist. Whee! Miss the health? Don't worry about it. Nothing's gonna hurt me badly anyway. And the health pickup makes everything okay. Oh yeah, look at this. Can't imagine playing this on hard, it would be hell. Okay, maybe very easy is too easy, but at this point, that's fine. See, I got through most of that level in the previous try. Okay, very easy is too easy. Let's just go to easy. That was the default after all. I turned it up from easy to normal at the start. Okay, Gauntlet 3. I've played Gauntlet 3, I think. Oh no. I'm thinking of Golden Axe 3. I don't know if I've played any Gauntlet games except for the Gauntlet minigame in LEGO Dimensions in the Midway Arcade level. But yeah, Gauntlet's really a multiplayer game at heart. So I need someone to play with. Oh yeah. This is good, just blasting through. This is the Dolphin Power Fantasy. Thank God for difficulty select. What a nice thing to add. I was actually praising Windswept recently, since I've been playing it, for its accessibility options. You can do a lot with making the game easier if you need to, or harder if you need to. So yeah, it's doing a really good job with that. Sort of inspired by, one of the many ways it's inspired by Celeste. It's got like precision platforming in the same way that does, but it's got similar, yeah, features to, you know, give you accessibility, invincibility, more jumps, that kind of thing. So yeah, again, Windswept, great game. Even eels are no problem on easy. Let's go. Surely it's a jump? Yes, it is. The jumps are exactly the same difficulty no matter what you select, because it's, you've got to wrangle with the movement system. But it's not like it's incredibly hard. It's fun, actually. Yeah, we'll go up. Surely the mine zone is the correct way. I'm sure enemies have less health on easy as well, which is nice. Yeah, we're getting some use out of the power-ups in these levels. That's nice. Wait, have I looped around? Where's my helpful arrow pointing me where to go? Can't figure out when that turns up. Is it if you're standing still? Stop drifting. I guess not. Ah! Oh, there it is. Left. Okay. But I went left. Ah, but I didn't go this way left. No, I did. It's not as simple as that there, is it? It's much like Crazy Taxi. The big arrow. I like 4 times better than machine gun. It's all looping around. What a maze. What a labyrinth. And I actually died. How about that? This level is called Combing. We were combing a lot of ground. I think I came out of there. So let's go this way? No, I think I did this too. Did I go down though? I can't. Oh man. Fine. So that... This feels right. This feels like it's got to be the way to the end. Yeah, nice. That was a good level. Oh, they made Zaxxon 3D? No way. So I guess that's 3D already. Altered Beast, right. I always forget about that because it's just... The theme is so similar to Golden Axe, you know? Fantasy style beat 'em up. Except it's just not very good. It's like side-scrolling instead of belt-scrolling. And like somehow ultra-precision gameplay. Yeah, I didn't find Altered Beast very fun when I was trying it out on one of the many Mega Drive collections. They had a team in Sega Heroes, but I don't think they've been represented in any of the Superstar games, the Altered Beast folks. Like, Were Creatures is cool, right? People who turn into animals and stuff, monsters. That's great. Why did the game have to be so, like, you know, bad? So I think given the theme, you could easily resurrect that and make it good this time. So eels don't attack you, right? Oh god, they do if you get close. Maybe I can just run away. Even skip the 4 times. The quad damage, if you will. I knew this was a Quake game. Everything about it just screams Quake, am I right? Whoops, never mind. Quake's another one that I only know from my magazines. Because Quake 64 got a big write-up with screenshot comparisons to the PC game. And like, it was clear that the N64 version didn't look quite as good, but the point of the screenshots was, hey, check this out, it looks almost as good, don't you think? Although I think, yeah, it's not just like not as good, it's... They were doing a different kind of style with it. It's got a different, like, color palette sometimes or something. I don't know. Ooh, the dry zone. Interesting. Echo did this every now and then. The most memorable thing about the coverage of Quake 64 was the front cover of the magazine, which they often had original art. Depicting whatever the big games they were covering was. So this was the issue that had Quake 64 and Yoshi's Story as the headliners. And so they drew one of the big claw beasts of Quake with Yoshi like riding on his shoulder. It's very cute. A good juxtaposition of styles. That might have even been a poster inside as well. I did put up some of the posters. I had the Conker's Bad Fur Day Heist Chapter Conker poster in N64 gamer art style. I had that up on my cupboard door. Yeah, it's great. All the more reason to look through my old collection and I'll show you. Well, that level was so fun, I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to get that gold dolphin at the start this time, because the other ones are free. So then we'll unlock another cheat. Yeah, this is a great little idea. Just a little... playing around with the physics engine. Pew pew pew! Yeah, the sound design of this game may be a bit repetitive, apologies. Yeah, Yoshi riding a shambler. If you can't find it, I'll send you a photo of my magazine. N64 Gamer from Australia. We did get a few import magazines, like we had a British one here and Hyper as well, I think. But we actually had a subscription to the Australian N64 Gamer for a while. Up to the point even that it rebranded as Nintendo Gamer because it was covering... Well, I guess that was when the GameCube came out. But we never got a GameCube. Ta-da! Alright, just because we... Then that was the long fall. Just because we got that... Okay, so we can activate a machine gun at all times. That's not that exciting, but that's the cheat we unlocked just now. Oh, you found it already. How about that? That's the one! Perfect. Isn't that fun? $7.95 from London Bookshops? Oh, it's a name because it's $1. It's not in pounds. Issue 3, May 98. Oh, it's $7.95 New Zealand. Maybe this is a New Zealand copy. Australia's unauthorized N64 magazine sold in New Zealand. Perfect conversion. Maybe the point of the screenshots then was look how well it accurately replicated the game, but looking at them it's like, no, they're different. But okay. Quake 64 is not quite what I would call a perfect port, says Gibbon, but it was impressive for the time. Yeah. Alright, we've only got 2 levels left. Surely we're going to rescue the Prime Minister very soon. But first, Evil Galore. Okay. So the dolphin enemy was called Evil Dolphin. I wonder if there'll be a lot of them on this level. We already had the 2 at a time just earlier. Yep, there's one already. I'm gonna just run away from this one. Help, help. Yeah, if I clear this gap, it surely can't follow me. Go! It followed me! Great. There's another one! Oh no! Okay, I'll grab that health and I might survive. Okay, we're surviving for now. There's 3! 3 at once! And yet, we escape. I knew that would work. Which number Echo game is this? 2005. I guess that makes it Echo 5? Echo 5, yeah. Because Echo 1, Echo 2, Echo Junior, Echo Defender of the Future, and then this. Oh, no, no, no. Before this is Flipper and Lopaka on the Game Boy Color. So yeah, we're up to the final level of action mode. It's called Finn. Very appropriate. We'll take it a little slower this time. I did rush through Evil Galore. Ooh, my favorite power-up, the homing rockets. Makes me just as efficacious as the Robo-Fish, whatever they were called. Whee! Okay, we got a bit of everything. Got these pools to jump in and out of. This is a gimmick they've used a few times already, but it works well, I think. Probably a collectible down here. Oh no, my rockets! Do you think there's going to be a unique kind of boss enemy? I'm going to say no, but that's fine. I'm sensing another maze. But maybe I just picked the right path the first time here, which would be nice. I'll take that. Oops. Nope. Okay. Oops. Wrong button. Oh. You can get more damage output by rapid firing, by like rapidly clicking with the 4 times, but you can also just hold it down, get a steady stream. Okay, Okay. Oh, that looks like a jump I can make. Let's go. Yeah! Feels so good. So I did turn it down to easy to make it more manageable for the final world, but to be fair, the game was started on easy by default, so I think it's good just to have a fun blast 'em up and not have ultimate challenge all the time. Do enemies take damage from the explosions? So any enemy can run into a mine and take damage from that, which is nice. Or every enemy? Yeah, I think any enemy can. It's especially useful in the evil dolphins, though. I don't think they get hurt by the seagull bombs, though. But yeah, anytime like enemies can interact and damage each other, I think is such a cool mechanic in a game, or like a dynamic. The other coolest mechanic is when this, you know, in a combat game, is knocking an enemy off a ledge into a pit. It's always hilarious. It's the best. Okay. 3 at once! Well, we've had 3 at once, but to be fair, that was because I rushed through some sections. This time, I'm gonna take them on. And there's a health refill when I need it. Full charge? Yeah, we got one. Full charge again. Whoa, nice. Yeah, hard to knock an enemy off a ledge in this game for sure, yeah. You're right. What if the evil dolphins had followed me down the dry tunnel? That would be cool. The end? It's the Prime Minister! Luckily he fit inside our tiny cramped UFO cabin, and we zoom off back to Earth. I think... The end. Here's Laser Dolphin on dry land, shaking flippers with the Prime Minister. Very good stuff. Thank you, thank you. The end. Thank you, Dingo Games. What an awesome thing. Okay, well there's no credits, but we did show the text file of the credits before. I'll just show you that again. There you go. Oh, that's with my additions from mashing buttons and accidentally clicking the window. So there we go. So thanks to them. Wow. I think I added that too. Okay. But we're not done. I don't... Oh, we did unlock another cheat, by the way. High gravity. But yeah, we're not done. I do want to show the stunt and race modes. I don't know if we're going to play through the whole thing, but there's not many levels in these modes. Not as many anyway. So yeah, there's other play modes. So that was the main story. We've been going for 3 hours. Dolphin Playground. Okay, do tricks. How much time? 3 minutes? I can't do that. So 180 bogus entry. Oh, this is just like, oh, what's that game? Dolphin Up? There was a game that it's got a Steam entry, but you can't buy it anymore. But I think I got it on mobile, or there's also a Wii U game. I don't know if it's the same one. Oh, sorry. But it's basically this. You jump out of the air, you do stunts, and you get scored on it. I think it's on Wii U, maybe. Oh, look at the 3D effect on these. That's fun. That's very Echo 2. So you can get extra bonus points by going through hoops. And then, yeah. Oh, I guess you unlock new levels, but I can't be bothered playing through it. You probably have to get a certain score. Okay, well, so that's that if you care. Right, race mode. How does race mode work? Go through hoops as fast as you can, earn a medal. Okay. So this is good. Engaging with the movement system only. Okay. I think a combination of pointing and right clicking / spacebarring and WAS on the tight corners is good here. But yeah, very different way to engage with the mechanics. Clearly just a side mode, but that's cool. Nice little bonus inclusion. Silver! Alright, take me on. These are short, so maybe we can play some more of these before we finish here for today. Yeah, I'm not sure how much you'd get out of stunt mode. I guess if they have different level designs that have like jumps and pools and stuff, but still it's more of an open playground kind of thing, sandbox type structure. So I apart from different hoop placements, I'm not sure what they could add in subsequent levels of stunt mode. I guess it behooves me then to at least unlock one extra level and see what's changed. Oh boy, well, that didn't go well. Bronze, that's fine. Ooh, this is different. Oops. Ugh. Okay. Were you ever a gaming magazine buyer, Gibbon or Captain? Kind of curious if Captain ever looked into it while living in New Zealand, and did you see our Australian magazines there as much as there were, or were there even native Kiwi magazines for gaming? Because like I said, we had British imports as well as our own homegrown one. We definitely did get Australian gaming magazines in New Zealand. Did you have your own ones as well? It's good to know, because we did. There is the New Zealand price tag on the front of N64 Gamer I've just seen now. Ooh, the deep dive. This is fun. Gibbon got Nintendo Power and EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly. That's cool. I've only seen scans of Nintendo Power. We didn't get that here. I don't know if we got the official British magazine here, but the one that we sometimes bought was an unofficial one. And occasionally pick some others off the stand. Yeah, same. That's why I have an issue of Hyper, and I think we have like one issue of Australia unofficial Xbox magazine. Maybe some others. I got a Beckett Pokemon card magazine. Yeah. This is good. This is nice and relaxing after the high octane action of action mode. I wonder if there were hoops on the alternate path. It felt like it was leading to a loop level design kind of, but maybe it was just an alternate way to get to the next hoop. There's no hoop counter in the HUD. Swimming through these hoops really reminds me of Knights, alright? Yeah! captain does not remember any New Zealand specific ones off the top of his head, but he couldn't afford to buy a magazine, so didn't look too often. Oh, I'm sorry. That's fair. I'm surprised magazines survived as long as they did, honestly. But, you know, pre-internet, it was the only way to get information. News, reviews, etc. Yo! I know my friends would buy them if they came with demos of games they wanted. Yeah, this is something that I missed out on as a Nintendo gamer. Demo discs. Although we did get some Windows 95 demo discs. Where did they come from? We didn't get PC magazines, did we? Maybe we did. Did we get them just for the demo discs? Or was like my dad trying to stay up to date or something? Why did we get PC magazines? All I remember is the demo discs, which were legendary, by the way. Awesome part of childhood, honestly. But yeah, if you're a PlayStation kid, PlayStation 1, the demo discs were unreal. Great stuff in those days. And yeah, you can't exactly strap a cartridge to the front of a magazine with demos on it. They were simply too expensive for that. I guess maybe the one Xbox magazine we got came with a demo disc, because we do own an Xbox demo disc. So I guess that's where it came from. Well, this is certainly a gimmick, isn't it? Oh. Gibbon says, I prefer magazines. Internet sucks ass. You're not wrong. Demos for the OG Xbox, yeah. Woof, that was tough. I didn't do it very well, but we got through with a bronze. We played so much of the Fusion Frenzy demo. Fusion Frenzy, oh, that rings a bell. What's that? Fusion Frenzy. Oh, wow. Another very different kind of level. I like this. Whoa. Okay. Now I'm just using WASD, but I should probably use right click for these curves, maybe. I think I should have gone straight at the first junction, actually. I think I've messed up the intended progression. But we'll make do. Ah! Oh boy. This is not going to be a good time. Okay. Focusing. Yeah. So you would have gone around there and then all the way around and then up to the finish. But that was okay. Hey, that's the end of race mode. Lovely stuff, yeah. A nice little bonus using the mechanics in a fun way. So let's do at least one round of stunt mode and see what we unlock. So we've got a nice little lagoon playground here. Ah, rewarded for a belly flop. That's good. How about shooting? Oh, you get bonus points for doing shots in midair. Okay. Bad entry. Still bad entry. Great entry. Huzzah! Fusion Frenzy. Yeah, I don't remember that one. Bogus. Ooh. Good points for the perfect entry. but you are only rewarded for shooting in midair, of course. Backflip. Okay, the problem with this is I keep clicking off the screen. Hey, that was real good. But we still got 2 minutes to go. And we did all the hoops. What's down here? Let's explore. Oh, it's nothing. This feels more Echo Junior. No threats, just play around. It did have objectives at least. Fusion Frenzy was a collection of minigames. Oh, okay. Well, I can't look it up. Oh, I can look it up on another device while the timer ticks down. Fusion Frenzy. A 2001 party game on Xbox. 45 different minigames. The sequel was developed by Hudson Soft, but the first one by Blitz Games. Looks like kind of gritty. I do like minigames. Ooh, in contrast to other party games, Fusion Frenzy does not contain a persistent game board with players participating in a succession of minigames. That sounds good to me. The worst part of Mario Party is the board. The minigames, if I could just do the minigames, I would buy Mario Party the Top 100 on 3DS, but I don't care. But yeah, my favorite part of Pokemon Stadium was always the minigames. Bad entry. How many flips can we do? Woo, woo, woo. 540, not bad. Okay, this time. Oh, I didn't give it time to spin around properly. The problem is that the demo disc had all the good mini games in it. When we pirated the full version of the game, we fell off real quick. Oh yes, that's the issue. Dolphin Playground, hoop over rocks. Okay, so they are doing things with the level design. Wow, big score already. Hit wall! No credit. Ah, oh, nuts. Yeah, okay, this is a different way to do a stunt level. Build it around specific jumps. Eh. Uh-oh, am I stuck? Get off. Hit wall. Yeah, if I just focus on doing good jumps, I can actually get a really good score. Oh, that's the end. Okay. And I've still got a minute left on the clock. With a shorter timer, these might have been a bit more, you know, snappy. Big air. Whee. Oh boy. I guess I should look at all the stunt levels, right? Why not? Just take it easy there. Don't push the score too hard. We don't need to get great scores. Let's go back to that list of Sega games. Whee! Zillion. I've vaguely heard of it. Golvelius? Sega was involved? I guess in the Master System version. It's not really their thing. Let's compile. Okay, what's next? Steps to stunt. 50,000 is our target to get a bronze at least. Oh god. Yeah, the steps. That's always fun. I do need to get 50,000, which is a lot. I wonder if there's a big drop at the end of this that'll let you do a lot of flips or something. There is. Okay, here we go. Get a big run up. Whee! Perfect entry. With a few lasers and flips. Oh, and this goes back to the start, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, if we want to get 50,000, actually, we might need to do another loop. Okay, I'm engaging with stunt mode. Thanks to level design. And yet I'm curious about that other path. Maybe we'll come back to it. Trying to shoot in midair to get more shots, but just end up clicking off the window. What a pain. No, never mind. Okay, this is the big one. Backflips. Oh yeah. Double flip and 180. And that's got us to our threshold. Very good. Oops. Oh, it's just a pool. You can see the whole monitor. What? How long was that like that? I accidentally clicked the display capture on OBS when I was wildly clicking around, I guess. Ugh, stupid windowed mode with a heavily mouse-driven game. Real pain. I mentioned this earlier, Captain, but the game has a full screen mode, but because it's, I guess, a 4:3 game, if you do that, it stretches it to fit the widescreen, and then it just looks bad. So we're using windowed mode. It's not ideal. Yeah. Indie games, what you gonna do? From 2005. Okay, Sega, what else did you make? Shinobi, Space Harrier, Thunderblade. Don't know what that is. Alf. They made an Alf tie-in. Now that's gaming. Arnold Palmer Tournament Golf. Okay, the next level is Big Cave Stunts. This sure does look like a big cave. Oh wait, what was my goal? 50,000 again, okay. Yep, I guess it's just a big cave. Well, it's not incredibly exciting, but... Ooh, what's over here? An upper path? Oh, some hoops. Okay, let's grab the hoops. Yeah, big score, big score. The secret hoops. Sonic and the secret hoops. It's an Echo crossover with Sonic. You know there was a character called Echo the Dolphin in the Sonic Archie comics, only her name was spelled with a H. But also there were Echo comics in Fleetway's Sonic the Comic, which regularly had bonus side features with stories based on other Sega properties. There was a Wonder Boy comic. There was some other ones I forget. Wonder Boy's the only one I remember. There was a Dynamite Heady. No. Decap Attack. There was actually the Decap Attack. Actually, for some reason, turned out to be like the longest running feature in Sonic the Comic, apart from Sonic. So I guess it must have had good writing. Alright, what else? Galaxy Force. Isn't that a Namco game? Oh no, it's a Sega one. I'm thinking of something else, I guess. Oops. Ah, Psycho Fox. I gotta play that one day. Rambo 3. What is Thunder Force's deal? Technosoft. Yeah, a lot of things on this list are just because Sega published their console version of it. Not the best list. Oh yeah, the Mickey Mouse games. Sega did develop some of those. And we have had a sort of remake of Castle of Illusion that had 3D sections and music by Grant Kirkhope. It was pretty good. But yeah, that's something I think I've talked about on stream because we covered the Master System version. Whoa! Big money, big money. Dynamite Ducks, of course. Origin of Beam the Dynamite of Sonic the Fighters. What is Dynamite Ducks anyway? Beat 'em up. Okay. Same system board as Golden Axe and Altered Beast. Ducks called Bin and Pin. I see, I see. Sounds fun. Maybe I should check it out someday. Okay. I do like to look at the level's name before I go in each time. Columns. Now that's a Sega game. Columns. Yeah, this is a cool design. Oh! Gotta get all the hoops, of course. Yeah. Okay, this looks like the final column. Do a few flips this time. Woo! It was not the final column. Yeah! Oh, there's still more. A sort of undersea column that twists. Why, this is no column at all. Oh, okay, fine. Oh, that's the end. So, Sega games. James Buster Douglas, Knockout Boxing. Joe Montana Football. Sports. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Well, I don't think you could do a 3D version of that these days. Phantasy Star, yeah. Strider, there was a new one of those. 2.5D. I want to say 2014, so ages ago at this point, but it's like a PS3 game. Okay, next. Gliding. Gliding? Hold on. Whoa! I got shunted in. Oh. You gotta do it in really shallow water. That's interesting. Ooh, and hitting the bottom counts as hitting the wall. Wonder if we can make it over this. Yeah! I don't think so. And I don't think you're supposed to. So how do you get points? Gliding. Like gliding on the surface? No. Yeah, gliding on your tail like this. Yeah. You could do this in Defender of the Future. You could like get up on your tail and like yeah, glide basically above the surface. Interesting. A new mechanic. I didn't give stunt mode enough credit. These levels are fun. And it was a short timer too. Okay. Bronze is all we need to move on. It's like doing a manual in Tony Hawk. Exactly. Okay, cave hoops. We're on Vulcan again. But not the Star Trek one. It's coloured similarly to the Star Trek planet. Ooh, another short level. So we gotta make good use of our time to get the maximum hoops in this cabin system. Yeah, that was good. Whoops. Go! Oh, not my best. That was the end of the levels area. But I think we're okay on score. Sega games, eh? I haven't heard of most of these. Axe Battler, A Legend of Golden Axe. You played that one, didn't you, Captain? Or was that the other Golden Axe spin-off? Okay, Circular Stunts. 150,000, golly. Yeah, but I mean recently. Never really had Sega consoles, so missed out on most of them. Yeah, I'm in the same boat myself. I did buy a Mega Drive from the school White Elephant store for like, you know, 20 bucks or whatever. It came with a bunch of games, even a CD system. But, yeah, it was like too late. The time had passed. And also the games weren't very good, at least the selection that came with the console. So like we weren't really into it. And we ended up giving it back to an op shop or a Fate or something. But it was really exciting at the time to get a whole new system, you know, many years after its relevance, that came with a bunch of games that you hadn't heard of before, and try them out, and then it turns out the games aren't very good. There was this like one first-person explorer spooky mansion kind of game, but the loading times were just too much for our teenage brains. And also it sometimes crashed because it was old and the discs, I guess, hadn't held up too well. I think there was a Mortal Kombat trilogy or something. CD. What else was there? Honestly, I don't remember what else came with it. But yeah, this is my one experience with a physical Sega console, basically. I did get the Sonic Gems collection on Xbox, which was a really good collection, actually. No, wait, that's the one I got recently. What we had at the time was Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which is all the Mega Drive ROMs. Gems Collection is like the rarities and the cool stuff, like Sonic R, Sonic Fighters, things like this. Big Hoop Stunts, 100k, okay. Tricky, but doable. Oh, okay, this is a big drop one. Big drop through the hoops, but we gotta get the angle right. Okay, looks good. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Just need another couple of good entries. Oh, yep. Nice. We're well past the total now. Whoop. Never mind. Ah. Do I get credit? No, because I hit a wall at the start there. None of that counted. Unfortunate. I was actually on track for a good score there until that final hurdle. Oh, 1,000,000 for gold? Yeah, might not have got that. Okay, final stunt level. The ultimate jump. I love the sound of that. 150k, so we'll build up some speed and surely... Where is it? Well, it's over there. Okay. Try again. The ultimate jump. Whee! Okay, it's pretty ultimate. Triple flip, 180, awesome entry and big air. 192. Oh, but now we're stuck in this little pool for 2.5 minutes. What a penalty. What am I supposed to do? Do some gliding. Ready? Yeah, baby. Good stuff. You get a lot further out of the water in Defender of the Future than this. You get right up on the... Oh yeah, shoot while gliding. Oh, that doesn't give you a bonus. You have to shoot during a jump. Dang. Good to know. Get to 200. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Oh, gain ground. Now that needs a sequel. Weird little strategy game. I guess they could do something with decap attack. If that even is an actual Sega game. Streets of Rage. Donald Duck. The Little Mermaid, of course, of course. That needs a new game for sure. Sega just published the Blue Sky ones on their platforms, but yeah. Chakan the Forever Man? Yeah, that needs a reboot. With the involvement of Ed Annunziata, that was originally co-creator of Echo the Dolphin. It's relevant, I tell you. Okay, we're nearly done. Then we can all go home. But there's one more stream this year. And I think, because I've been doing a lot of prep for it, I'll probably play some Donkey Kong fan games. Because that's where my brain is at the moment. And there's quite a few of them, so we should have some fun. And that's on, what, the 29th? Yeah. Perfectly placed between Christmas and New Year's. Alright, cool. Well, I think that's pretty well rinsed Laser Dolphin, except for getting all the gold dolphins and seeing what cheats are unlocked. Invincible enemies? Jeez, no thanks. And no time limit are now available. But yeah, good stuff. Laser Dolphin. Check it out. You can still buy it direct from the website of the creators. And just to show you that, I guess, one more time. Oops. Hold on, hold on, hold on. One. Big Dolphin. Yeah, we unlocked Big Dolphin mode. I'll show you that, Captain, since you weren't here. Big Dolphin. Big Dolphin. So who knows what other cheats could be available. Could be some fun stuff. Look, he's big. Laser Dolphin is now big. Yep. I can barely fit through this corridor. Oh no! He's wigging out. Yup, he large. He real big. Yes. So I swear there is some copy somewhere that genders Laser Dolphin as he, him. I could not find it just now, but it's part of something official. Anyway. So that's Laser Dolphin. Go to dingogames.com. You can buy it, or you can still get it from the iOS App Store. for a similar price, and enjoy this game yourself. Why not? Most of Dingo's other games are on Steam, so all these ones are. Not Clumsy Cat, but all these ones. And their most recent game, Tasty Planet Final Bite, is coming out soon to Steam. So look forward to that. It's got that satisfying eating small things to get bigger gameplay. That is a winning formula. And yeah, look forward to it. Are the lasers bigger? Oh, Captain. Asking me difficult questions. Are the lasers bigger? I don't think they are. I don't think they're bigger. Yeah, look, the rockets. They're the same size, I'm pretty sure. Can I get big air from my big dolphin? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the lasers aren't bigger. What a disappointment. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yes. So anyway, there will be more Echo fan games for me to play eventually, but for now it'll be Donkey Kong fan games on the next stream. Look forward to that. Thank you for putting up with my obsessions. Okay. So, all games should have a big dolphin mode. Even if there are no dolphins in the game, you turn on the tick box and you just know that out there, wherever they are, they're big. Yeah, by the way, dolphins in Tasty Blue. You can play as a dolphin in Dingo's other game, Tasty Blue, which is also the eating type of game, but with a focus on being an ocean creature. I do recommend that one, it's fun. Fun art style too. Anyway, okay, that's the end. I have to end. I have to go rest, people. Let me rest, for goodness sake. So thank you very much for watching and commenting. It's been fun. And yeah, if you celebrate Merry Christmas, I am streaming next week on the 29th. I will go rest as soon as Captain stops asking me questions. So yeah, I'll be streaming same time next week. No interruptions here because, you know, it's between holidays, so I think I'll be not busy. So yes, look forward to it. Thank you and farewell. Enjoy the holidays if you're celebrating them. Goodbye.